Hello there, my name is Peter Thompson and this DVD is one of my teaching DVDs. This one is about sand shots, getting the ball out of the sand bunker. Sand bunkers terrify lots of golfers, maybe it frightens you. Shouldn't really, because sand bunker shots are fairly simple if you adapt your normal swing but only slightly. If you watch on TV or watch at your local club, watch the best golfers, they tend to be the best golfers because they have the best swings and they then apply the same principles of their good swings to playing sand bunker shots. Tour pros are fantastically good at sand because they apply the normal principles. No point in learning a swing and then having to change it. The sand wedge, this is a sand wedge, quite an old one actually, maybe 50 years old. And the loft angle is this one, the angle of the face. It has about 56 degrees of loft. That's a lot of loft, 56 degrees. Over the last 20, 30 years, golf manufacturers have reduced the loft angles of irons quite dramatically. A modern day 6-iron has probably got about 8 degrees less loft than it used to have. This is a 7-iron, and over the last 20 years, as I just said, they've taken the loft angle down by about 8 degrees. So modern day 7-iron equates to an older 5-iron. So they go the same distance, which is great for people's egos. But having changed the loft angles of irons down by 8 degrees, what they haven't done, and they couldn't do, is change the loft angle of a sand wedge. If we reduce this angle down by 8 degrees, it would be really hard to get out of sand bunkers. So they've left the sand wedge loft and adjusted all the other lofts of the irons by 8 degrees down. So the sand wedge is designed specifically for getting the ball out of the sand bunker, and the loft angle does that for you. The sand wedge is also designed so the back edge, this is the back edge, is actually lower than the front edge, and it's designed that way so when the sand wedge goes into the sand, the back edge makes the club head bounce out and the ball comes out with the sand. So in a sand bunker, the club face with a normal shot hardly ever hits the ball. So 1 inch behind. I always aim to hit the sand wedge 1 inch behind the ball. So I've got a consistency, 1 inch all of the time, and if I hit further behind the sand, you can if you wish, it's entirely up to you, but if you want to hit, let's say 2 or 3 inches behind the ball in the sand bunker, you've then got to swing much faster because you're taking out more sand. So swinging faster means a longer backswing, and a longer backswing means less control, less consistency. So if you practice in the sand bunker, just draw a line 1 inch behind the ball and make sure the line is about 12 inches long, 6 inches either side of the ball. Then aim for the line and hit the shot. And you can then see, because the line is quite long, where you've actually hit the sand. That's a great way of doing it. My sand bunker play was always very good, so I always used to practice with a line 1 inch behind the ball and aim for the line, not for the ball. I guess in the sand it's a bit different, because on a normal shot you're looking at the ball. In the sand bunker, you're looking at a line behind the ball. That's the only difference, really. So, TrackMan is an extremely useful tool, and people learn lots from it. The main thing people have learned is that the ball goes where the face goes, not necessarily where you're pointing. I've always believed the ball goes where the face goes, and TrackMan proves to me a very simple point. So there's a trend now in golf magazines. I take golf magazines every month and I read them, and the modern trend seems to be to aim the club face with a sand wedge at the ball, which is correct. So aim the face where you want the ball to go to, and have your feet pointing to the left, which is called an open stance, and by aiming your feet to the left, it allows you to swing through the ball, keeping the club face on line. I watched the Masters very intently a few weeks ago, and a lot of golfers, a lot of brilliant golfers were aiming, I'm not sure whether you noticed, their feet, even with drives, a long, long, long way to the left, even into the trees sometimes. And they do that to allow the club head to go through very, very straight. In the sand shot, that's what you want. So 1 inch behind the ball, feet slightly open, then hit behind the ball, and the ball comes out with the sand. If you're playing on a course you're in the sand and there isn't a lip there, you could use a 3-wood with your normal swing. You then hit the ball and not the sand, or a 7-iron, hit the ball and not the sand. But this DVD is about basic sand shots, and once you've learned the basic sand shot, you can then apply slight alterations. For example, if the ball is plugged, if you hit 1 inch behind the ball with the ball plugged in the sand, you'll just hit the ball further into the sand. And there are other variations, slopes this way and this way, but this DVD is about a basic sand shot. Unless you've got the basic swing for normal shots, then you won't get a good swing for sand shots, and unless you can play a normal basic sand shot, then you can't play the more difficult shots. So this is about a normal basic sand shot. You might want to hit the ball really high. Most bunkers, the lip is maybe 2 or 3 feet. Some golf courses have some bunkers, and I've played on them, and the bunkers are extremely deep. I played on one golf course, Woodhall Spa in Lincolnshire, fantastic golf course, and I think it's the 11th hole, about the 11th hole, and the bunker is so deep that I can't see the top of the flag. Bunker this deep, flag on the green obviously, and if the flag is on the other side of the green, I couldn't see the top of the flag. To play out of this bunker, forward towards the hole, I now have to increase the loft. So the 56 degrees of loft isn't enough. It would hit the ball into the bank and roll back down to my feet. So what I do now, and what you should do, is work out how high you want the ball to go and open the loft to there. That's maybe 80 degrees of loft now. So open the loft, open the face. We can then open the feet slightly so we can get through, and having more loft sends the ball higher so we can swing through the shot, and when we hit the ball the face is still square, but we've increased the loft angle so the ball goes higher. Still 1 inch behind the ball, longer swing because you need more speed, but the same swing. So open the face, increases the loft, face square all the time, and then you can control the height. Or if you want to, you can play backwards out of the sand bunker. Some people often do. So stand shots. Gary Player, in one of my books, has an impact position with a driver, with the ball inside the left heel by about 2 inches, and when he hits the ball, his left arm club is in line. Gary Player has been one of the best sand bunker players ever, and in the same book it shows Gary Player hitting the ball with a sand wedge. Ball inside the heel by 2 inches, impact, left arm club exactly the same as with the driver. His head will be further back with the driver because his feet are further apart. So the driver, head further back, impact, sand wedge, feet closer together, same impact position. So he hasn't changed his swing from a driver through the sand wedge, so all the other swings would be the same as well. So to recap, use your normal swing, just adopt it slightly. Aim the face square, feet slightly open, aim to hit 1 inch behind the ball. If you want to hit the further behind, then you can do 2 inches, 3 inches, but bear in mind, if you hit 3 inches behind the ball and not 1 inch behind the ball, you'll need more club head speed and longer back swing, and therefore less consistency. So 1 inch behind the ball, face square, feet slightly open, normal swing, and then club goes into the sand, out comes the sand, out comes the ball. I hope you've learned a lot from this. I've enjoyed making this DVD, I enjoy making all my DVDs, and thank you for listening. Thank you very much.